Hi everyone, my name is Chloe and I am the founder and CEO of Sample Beauty, and I am here today to show you an exciting new product that we are releasing, which is our Erase and Boost Base Full Coverage Concealer. It is a hard concealer jar like this, and it's super creamy and beautiful, and I'm going to show you exactly how it applies, all the different uses it has, and would it be a Sample Beauty product if it did not have multiple uses. Further on in the video I am going to show you the look that I created now, and I used this in numerous different ways, so I'm going to show you exactly how it applies. But first of all I'm going to talk about its properties and what it's like, etc., and give you more details on the product. So when you receive the product, it comes in a box like this, which is textured, very, very high quality and sturdy. Inside the box, when you open it, you will have the jar. It is a large jar, it's 15 ml, and it will last you a very, very long time. And inside the jar is a baby little spatula, and that is used to remove the product from the jar if you wish to use that method. So it's called the Erase and Boost Base Full Coverage Concealer. The erase part is to erase any blemishes, dark circles, or any redness on your face, and then the boost part is to boost your eyeshadows. So it is a concealer plus eyeshadow base, but today I've actually used it as foundation and contour, so you can use it in loads and loads of different ways. It's completely up to you. The innovative formula of this product, it is creamy, but when you apply eyeshadow on top of this base, the eyeshadow does latch on, but the creaminess of the product allows blending to be so easy. I can't explain how easy it is. It will take you no time at all to blend. You will see a tutorial in a minute on this look that I created, and you will see how quickly it took me to blend my eyeshadow. I'm not going to speed that bit up. I'm just going to show you exactly how quickly it took me to blend and how seamlessly it blends into the skin. So when we were developing this product, we reached out to lots of different influencers, lots of different artists, and asked their professional opinion on what shades would be best for the initial launch, and we came up with these 12 shades. And we have another 48 shades in the pipeline, but that's obviously based on the success of this product, if we want to make any changes, etc. And we take all that feedback on board based on what you guys have told us. But we are so confident in this product. We've worked so hard on the formulation. It's creamy, it's beautiful, and it provides you with full coverage. So I'm going to show you swatches up close on my skin tone. On our website you will be able to see swatches on all different skin tones. For this specific video I'm going to show you each shade swatched on my skin tone. I'm not warm and I'm not pink, I am just neutral, so I will show you each shade. So I hope you like those swatches. If you've got any questions or you want a shade comparison, comment below and we can answer those questions for you, and we can tell you which shade would be best for you based on the shades that you already have, etc. We can help you, that's what we are here for. So comment below any questions and let us know. So I'm gonna go ahead now and show you the tutorial. Any other products I use in the video, I will tag them below as well. So there's different ways that you can apply the base. You can use a brush or you can use a sponge, it's completely up to you. And you can use the spatula that's provided with the jar, especially if you're a makeup artist, obviously because of hygiene reasons, etc. Or you could just go straight into the jar, which is what I'm going to do, just because it's my personal jar. So this one has been used quite a lot, this is my personal one. And I'm literally just going to put my brush straight into the jar. I am using a dense buffer brush. And it's quite large, as you can see. And I am gonna go straight into the jar and coat my brush. You don't need to go in really, really heavy into the jar. The product will come on to the brush as it is. I will zoom you in a little bit further, just for you to see the kind of coverage. I do my eyebrows last, so if you do your brows first, then you might want to use a different brush so that you can carve around the brow. I like to layer the product in thin layers to give me a more even coverage. And I will apply much more below my eye than above the eye. And you can see straight away that that has covered my redness, and it did not take me much time whatsoever to be able to do that. And I am going to go in with a little bit more as my second layer. And of course you can use a sponge. The more you pat the product into the skin, the more of a matte finish you are going to get. That's that side fully done now. So you can see the difference. It has covered up my redness and my darkness, and under the eyes it has concealed that dark circle. I am just going to go around and cover my blemishes. Like so. So you can see even on the side of my nose how that's covered, and I've left that eye on purpose for you to see the difference. And that is the finished coverage. So there's a nice close-up view. So I've covered my redness here and around my nose, and you can see the full coverage effect here. So here's where my darkness starts, and I've left this side of my nose so you can see the redness on my nose. And there's the difference between my eyes. So it's completely concealed that darkness. So I'm going to show you this side now with a sponge, because some people do prefer applying their base with a sponge and their concealer with a sponge. So inside the box, when you take the jar out, you will also find a little baby spatula. So I'm going to show you the sponge method using the spatula, and I'll show you another way as well when I do my second layer. I'm going to do a second layer because I want both eyes to be matching. So I'm going to take the little spatula and I'm going to scrape product out of the jar. You don't need much, and I'm going to apply it to the back of my hand, like this. And I'm going to warm that product up so it's on the back of my hand like that. And then I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to take the product off the back of my hand and start bouncing it into the lid. Of course, you can use your finger to apply to your eye as well. The sponge is naturally going to pick up all the product, but it will absorb some as well, so you can expect a more natural finish. I'm going to show you what a lot of people have been doing when they've been testing these bases, and they've been going in with a sponge directly into the jar like this and coating the underneath of your blender like that, and then applying it to the eye. And this again is going to give you a much more full coverage because you're getting more product onto the sponge. So there is the base on my eyes. As you can see, it's given me a completely masked look, which is what I like. It's covered this whole area, and you could go above and carve above your brows as well. But now I'm gonna apply some eyeshadow. I'm gonna do a pretty natural look today because I've got an interview, so I'm gonna go for a little bit more of a natural look, but I'll keep you this close up. I'm gonna go in with the Cult palette, a very well loved palette. I'm gonna take this shade here. So I'm just patting that colour where I want it to go. You can see how intensely the base has made that shade. So I'm just patting it everywhere. I'm going to put this all over, including the lid. And I'm just creating my desired shape. So now that I've got my desired shape, I'm going to take a clean brush now and blend out those edges. I'm not using the transition shade. Can you see how easily that blended? And that is my blend done. I've not used transition shade, that is one shade on my eye, and the creaminess of the product allows the product to blend honestly perfectly. This base makes it so much easier. So I'm just going back through with the brush that I applied the brown and just taking it out a little bit so it's not as rounded. Like so. I love how I said I'm going to do something natural. But there we go, and that is the blend. And you can see how perfectly that has blended into the skin. And I've not used transition shade. This is one shade on my eye. And you can see I don't think I've got any fallout at all. The base has literally held all the shadows. And with the Cult palette, sometimes you can get a little bit of fallout because the shadows are soft, which isn't a bad thing because you get this kind of colour payoff. But the base has allowed the shadows to latch onto it. Okay, so that's both eyes done, and it took me no time at all. I'm gonna go underneath now with the same brown, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of pigment on my lid. And if I come in closely, you can see how nicely my shadow has blended. No transitions, one shade. I'm going to spray my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus now, and then I'm going to go in with the pigment Candy Cane, which is a duochrome pigment. I'm going to show you. There's a duochrome pigment, and it's got a mauve base, which is good for the kind of shade that we've got on our eye right now. So yeah, I'm going to spray my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus and lightly go in with Candy Cane on the first 2/3 of my eye. Just like that, and then I'll do the same with the other eye. Okay, I'm gonna go away and do my brows, lashes, and mascara and all that stuff, and then I'll come back. Okay, so my brows and my eyes are done. I didn't go for lashes in the end because I used this mascara for the first time and I really, really liked it. It's the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. I've not used it before, but I really liked how it made my lashes look. So I'm not going to put lashes on, I'm just going to keep it as it is like this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to zoom you out a little bit so you can see my full face. And I am actually going to use the base as my foundation and my contour so you can see how it looks all over the skin. It is a full coverage concealer, and each application you don't use much at all, which means that out of a jar I can use it as foundation as well. But I'm going to go in with a darker shade. I'm going to use shade 5 over my skin, and I'm going to use a sponge. Okay, so I'm going to go straight into the jar. This is shade 5. And the shades do appear darker in the jar than they apply on the skin, so just bear that in mind. I'm going to take the beauty sponge and I'm just going to put the sponge directly in the jar and move it around like this. If you are a makeup artist, then obviously you can use the spatula to remove the product, place it on the back of your hand, and then use the sponge. And I'm just going to pat this over the skin. I'm not going to go too close to my eyes because I want my eyes to be highlighted. This does not take long to apply at all. I've just made it a little bit less bright in here so you can see the difference and you can see the coverage. So that is what my cheek looks like with the concealer all over my skin versus the other side. So you can see I do have some texture and some scarring, and this side is nice and covered, and it's giving me a soft dewy finish, which is what I like. But I do get quite oily in my forehead and my T-zone and around my mouth, so I will set this area and I'll set under my eyes, but I will leave my cheeks as they are. I'm going to do my other side now, and I'll zoom you into my cheeks so you can see how it applies. And that is it over my cheeks. You can see how pretty that finish is. So it is slightly dewy, it's not super shiny, but it's giving me a beautiful glow. My cheeks are really, really dehydrated. I've got combination dry, oily skin, and it's giving me beautiful full coverage. If you wanted even fuller, you could easily go in with another layer and it won't look cakey. So you can see that kind of coverage it's given me. Okay, now I'm gonna highlight underneath my eyes and I'm gonna use a sponge again. That is my preference. Obviously you can use a brush. I'm gonna go back in with shade 3. I'm gonna take the pointy bit of my blender and put it into the jar again and start patting it under the eye. See straight away that's highlighted beautifully. And I am going to take it up here because I like this part to be highlighted so it lifts my face. Okay, so now I've done my foundation and my concealer. I'm going to contour using the base. I'm going to use shade 8, which looks like this. And I'm going to use a pointed brush for this just so I can direct where I want it to go, and then I'll use a sponge to blend it out. I'm going to remove the product from the jar with a spatula for this. So I literally just scrape. I'm literally just going to scrape the product out apply it to the back of my hand, like so, and then warm the product up. You can see it's slightly darker. I'm going to take that onto my brush and I'm going to apply it where I want it to go. And then pat it into the skin. You see straight away that has lifted that side of my face. Because I'm using the same product as my foundation and my contour, my cream contour, the shades are blending beautifully together. So the contour slash bronzer is blending beautifully into the skin. That is my face bronzed. I don't like a super bronzed look, I just like a little bit of definition, as I've said before. But all I'm going to do now is to deepen this area of my face. To push this in, I'm going to use a really, really dark shade, and I'm going to use a small angled brush. So this is our PB12 brush, and it is a angled fluffy brush like this. I am going to take shade 12, which is our darkest shade at the moment, and I'm literally just going to put my brush in it a little bit, a little tiny bit, and I'm just going to place that here, literally to the corner of my ear, like so, and then I'll use my beauty blender to blend that in. And that is my face contoured. So if I pull my hair back, you can see a little bit better. I'll zoom out as well. So that is my face contoured, concealed, and my foundation with the base. I'm going to set my forehead, my nose, and my mouth now. So I'm going to go away now and do the rest of my face. I'm going to powder, put blusher on and highlighter, and then I'll be back. We are really, really excited about this product and we cannot wait for you to get your hands on it. Again, any questions, comment below or DM us on Instagram, or you can DM me personally on Instagram and I will answer the questions for you. Again, the product retails for $12.95 and it is available now. The link is in the description. So yeah, love it, enjoy it, and we are really, 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 really excited.